Uh, just in time for New Year's, which is the bane of my existence.
Why? Why is it the bane of your existence?
Because Kimberly cannot handle, she cannot deal with, it started with fireworks and it escalated to thunderstorms and now it is changes in barometric pressure.
Yes, I have one of those too. And actually very few things that I'm going to mention, like as some options that I'm going to mention, are going to address that because they're so sensitive that you're going to need something different. So yeah, we have to discuss noise phobia, which is what we want to talk about. But noise phobia implies that you can hear it, and like some dogs are so sensitive, they can hear way further than we can, so they hear it way before us. But they also feel changes to the barometric pressure, which affects them because they know that something follows that change, which is usually a thunderstorm.
Yes. So I mean, animals are smart. Like they know, my dog knows when a storm is coming before I do because I don't ever check, I don't look at the weather map. I don't do it. I don't have time for it. It's not in my thought processes. I just don't do it. It is like, to me, the weather just is what it is. And hopefully I dress accordingly. I
Yes.
don't have time for anything else. But there are a lot of tips. There are a lot of things that work for a lot of dogs, and anything that we talk about today may work for your dog, may not work for your dog, but, and this may be key for some of you guys, is finding things to layer that when you use them in combination, then you get the effect you're looking for. So that's what I've been working on with my dog, Kimberly, is finding what I can layer.
Yes.
And I have a bunch of stuff here. I actually didn't even grab everything I've tried because I just didn't have enough like room in my little basket to carry everything because I've tried so many things. But we are going to be doing a giveaway. So throughout the live today, comment.
Yes, you have to comment. Otherwise,
you have to comment. Otherwise, we don't know you're here. And we don't know that you want to win. And what we're giving away is a bottle of CBD Dog Health Calm, which is,
you've got the TikTok hand gesture.
I've got the TikTok hand going. So you can see it on Facebook and YouTube. And my bottle, it doesn't look as good as the bottle you're gonna get. I also just, this one looks better. This is the extra strength. We're not giving away the extra strength, but just so you can see the difference in the bottles, I did bring both of them. So the regular Calm you get, yes, for, I'm going to say this wrong. People don't use their real names, and I get it on social media. Arata? Yeah. So you get in a full dropper of Calm, you get 9 milligrams of full spectrum hemp extract, and in the extra strength, you get 18. So depending on, this is like really great for like multi-dog, like if you find, and we'll talk about like finding, why does everybody say that? Yeah, I don't know, but that stuff is amazing. I use it too. So that's why everybody says that. Beth. Okay, Beth, thank you so much for being here. So we'll do the drawing for the giveaway at the end of our show, and then you'll just have to like DM us.
Yeah.
Whoever wins. So I've got Beth.
And Lisette Guerrero says that both her Jack Russells need this. A lot of dogs need this.
Lisette.
And the thing about Calm is that it's not just for thunderstorms, noise phobias. It has all the anti-inflammatory, adaptogenic benefits of any hemp extract from the CBD dog health line, but it also has added, Borderot has used all of their CBD products except for the Calm. So the Calm is the one we used for Kira, but I used to use the Heal with Titan when he was so deaf he wouldn't have heard anything. But he was using the Heal when he had degenerative myelopathy. So yeah, they have different formulations, and we're raffling this one specifically because we figured that whomever joins us for this conversation probably has a dog that's noise phobic or has experience with a client, if you're a professional with a client with noise phobia. So let's talk about some management tools, because all of this that we're talking about is management tools for noise phobia, which can be caused by construction in your house, by the washer, which it did it today, getting all wrapped up with like a comforter in there and going boom, 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 boom. It can be caused by the UPS truck zooming down the street. It can be caused obviously by fireworks and thunderstorms. What other things have you, Jessica, found that Kim reacts to?
Oh my gosh. She reacts to the kids across the street playing. She reacts to, because they, they make kid noises.
Yes,
And they're high pitched, right? It's like, what is that? Like, it's like they're jackal outside. I don't know, right? There are children playing across the street. They've got like radio controlled cars and, different, like, so she reacts to those things. But I mean, even in situations where maybe your dog doesn't love going to the vet, and you can prep, instead of using pharmaceuticals, you can prep with a natural full spectrum hemp extract that also has lavender essential oil in it, because that is just another calming. I want to say adaptogen, because like in some places I've read that it's an adaptogen, and then Dr. Rob Silver was like, no, it's not an adaptogen. So I don't know. I want to call it an adaptogen.
I wouldn't call it an adaptogen, but it is a layer. Like,
yeah,
it's an aromatherapy. It could be used for aromatherapy, but this is obviously ingested. This is something that like most pet parents at some point we will experience. Some of us experience it chronically with our pets that are scared of thunderstorms or fireworks. Some of us like dread New Year's Eve because of it. Yeah. But at some point, like I had a renovation this summer, and my cat is super chill. He's over here. Nothing bothers him. Today, I was scooping his litter box. The robot was going around in the room and he was going potty. Like, that's how chill he is. That nothing.
Good for him.
He was using the litter box I had just scooped. I was scooping the other one, like invading his personal space. The robot is in a small room going around and he's peeing. So he does not care. But there was one day during the renovation that they were using the nail gun, and the compressor came on, and that cat grabbed onto the ground, like the hardwood floors, with his claws, and like tore out of there. And it was really like surprising to see such a chill animal react like that. So if you live in a place where there are no fireworks, or you live somewhere like I do in Sun City, El Paso, where it barely storms, these tips will still apply if you have, like, if you move, if you have renovations, if you have people coming in and out of the house for the holidays, that are new, anything that is different, especially children to a house where they don't have kids. Oh my gosh, like so much noise. A loudspeaker. Like my husband has a voice that like dogs and cats are like, because he has such a deep voice and such a loud voice, and he doesn't realize it. So anything like that, this is helpful for. It doesn't have to be just noise phobia for these huge dramatic moments. Just keep that in mind when we talk.
Yes, and kind of like a tip that a lot of things that are applicable to dogs are also applicable to cats. So, and I see the crocheting cat behaviorist joined us. Thank you so much. So even, and like, I know we're talking about like we're going to give away the dog bottle of Calm from CBD Dog Health, but the reality is the formulas, whether it has a dog on the bottle or a cat on the bottle, are the same. So if you just like having your different bottles, one that has a cat on it, one that has a dog on it, go for it. But you can actually just buy this one and give it to both.
Well, they have a cat line, but also another. We are not getting paid to promote CBD Dog means. We just both use this product and we thought it was timely. So this is not like a sponsored video or giveaway of any sort. These are giveaways we've purchased that we're going to send to you. We're doing one this week and one next week. So if you don't win this week, make sure you're back next week. But We also love the products by the Two Crazy Cat Ladies, Feline Essentials. So they also have some stuff that can help in these moments when you have a pet that's out of sorts, feeling stressed. They have products too. So keep those in mind if you want something that's specifically cat. Because I know a lot of cat people are like, I don't want anything that says dog on it. Like, I refuse.
Yes, but you know what? Whatever I buy from the Two Crazy Cat Ladies is also good to use on dogs. So I just don't like, I really prefer anything I buy to be able to be used on my dogs.
Because you have both. And same
Yes.
with some of the stuff the Two Crazy Cat Ladies sell, they told me I could use for me and my kids. So that's how good and natural this stuff is. So yeah, we trust both brands implicitly.
I use this every single day on me and my dog, and if I could get it on my cats every single day, I would. But I don't have a chill Van Gogh cat. I've got some get out of my space. I'm 15 years old and I'm done with your SHIT. Like, that's what my cats are.
Life lady. Yes, I totally agree. Okay, so I think I'll start by saying that a lot of this is, it goes without saying that if you have storms, if you have if you have fireworks coming, your pet should be indoors. That's the first layer of protection for your pet. Please bring them indoors. We've all seen the videos of the pets that get hit by cars, hurt in fencing because they're hearing this awful, commotion, and they don't know how to take cover outside. They should not be left outside alone. If you have a truly noise phobic dog during like New Year's Eve or July 4th, maybe you should be home too, even if they are indoors, because they can really hurt themselves. So if you have extreme situations, we'll talk about that, sure. But just know that your presence is also a layer here. So if safety, number one, get your pets indoors. If you have an indoor-outdoor cat, they have no business being out on New Year's Eve. They have no business being out on July 4th, on Halloween, days that there's a lot of commotion. Bring them inside, leave them inside, get them some fun stuff to play with, get yourself inside, give them a good meal, let them rest, keep them safe. And also make sure that no matter where your pet is in your home, they're always wearing their collar on these kinds of nights, just in case, especially if you have guests. Because, the in and outs of doors, your pet can get out and you want them to have a collar. If a pet gets out and it's a dog, chances are people are going to be like, that dog doesn't belong on the street. But especially cats, if a person sees a cat that's not wearing a collar, they're probably just going to assume they're a community cat and they won't do anything. So just make sure that that is one of your layers of protection. And also microchipping, if you have an escape artist, that goes without saying, your pet should be wearing their collar and your pet should be microchipped. Whether or not you choose to microchip is a totally personal decision. I do choose that. I always adopt my pets already microchipped, so it's not really even a choice. But I also make sure that I update every time that like a phone number changes, an address changes, I update that information, because if you got your pet and you haven't updated that, it's going to default to the rescue organization where you got them, or the veterinarian who put it in. And on New Year's Eve, they're going to be closed. So your pet's going to be stuck wherever they're stuck. Even if a good Samaritan picked them up, they're going to be stuck for the night because nobody's going to be able to reach you. They're going to reach the veterinary office or the rescue call center or whatever. So just make sure you're doing those little layers before we even get to the management. These are like basics for every day, especially if you have an escape artist, your cat's showing a lot of interest in the outdoors. Get them a collar, train them to wear a collar. Van Gogh wears a collar all the time. He has different collars for different seasons. He was super comfortable with it from day one. It's one of those quick release, so it has happened where he got caught somewhere and I found it on the ground. So it's a quick release. He won't get hurt, even if he's like a monster around the house and getting into stuff. But just make sure that you are covering all your bases with this, and then obviously preventing that fear from getting out of control, which could put them in a bad place.
Yeah, I mean, training in an appropriate desensitization program can be really beneficial for a lot of animals. But you do have to start early. It's not like, oh, we're a week away, let's start desensitizing your animal. Like, no, you find out on July 4th that your dog can't handle fireworks. July 5th, or give yourself a little bit of a break. Let's say July 7th, you should be starting.
It's true. It takes that long. And people want like a pill, a magic pill for separation anxiety or noise phobia. it doesn't exist.
It doesn't. And you really do have to start so small with like just a barely audible thunderstorm or firework, track, and really work with your dog and use positive reinforcement to let them know that they're safe, that everything is okay. And it takes time.
It does.
And it takes you being willing to be patient and take your time and understand that there are likely going to be setbacks, and that is okay. You just go back and okay, so somebody's saying please talk about canine distemper. So we can talk about canine distemper in another episode, but today we are talking about noise phobias because New Year's is coming up.
Yeah.
And we're doing a giveaway for anyone that has recently joined us, because I do see some people have joined us. Make sure to comment your name and let us know that you're here. Or just comment. And because we are giving away a bottle of CBD Dog Health Calm to help you and your dog get through New Year's, which is just one of the management tools that we're going to talk about today. So obviously, so you can start desensitization training now, but likely you're not going to be where you want to be by New Year's Eve, and that's okay.
Right.
Just understand that going in.
Yeah.
So some of the things we can do, some like really like low hanging fruit that we can do, is not only making sure that your dog and cat are inside, but that they are in like the most central location possible. Like we can get them away from windows, if we can get them as like far away from like where external noise is going to come into the house as possible. So cover windows, keep it dark after the sun goes down, have music or a movie playing, something that can be calming for them. I will not only have the TV on because, my husband is watching TV, even regardless of what anything else is going on in the house. My husband is watching TV. But I will have either like some YouTube calming music track playing, or I also have the Relaxo Pet that you plug in, and I don't know what the difference is, but like there's a setting for dog and there's a setting for cat, and it plays music that is supposed to be calming for cats and dogs. So layering those things, my dog will just kind of instinctively, she goes into the bathroom. Like that is where she wants to be. But if you, or the closet,
right,
depending on what she has, because like she'll try to pull clothes down in the closet and like make a little bed. If I don't, I'll have to like put blankets in there for her. So if you can be prepared, some dogs, especially dogs that like were properly crate trained and love their crate, might actually prefer to be in their crate when they're scared. So that's something to think about as well. And you can put a cover over the crate to kind of just give them that added security of like a little cave. I am loving the way I look on StreamYard, by the way, and not so much on Instagram. So StreamYard apparently has this new feature to like make yourself look better. And I was like, yes, let's do this. So StreamYard, I'm like,
I didn't get my filter. I look fine. I look really
dark. Yo, you looked totally fine.
Dark on Instagram for some reason, but I think it's because my window behind me, but it's fine. Yeah,
So, Kimberly, my neighbor is walking her cat.
Of course. So my dog likes to follow us around the house whenever she's there.
Yes. Kimberly, thank you.
Go anywhere, really. If I'm doing the dishes, she's literally right there. If I'm sitting on the couch, she's right there. Like she just us. She luckily has never been destructive. I know some dogs will literally eat through drywall. I have always been a big fan for cats, especially of putting safe space, like create a zen room where you have like pre-planned, like all you said, the calming pheromones, which I love them. We use them in our house just on every day. Because I feel like pheromones are such an, like you said, low-hanging fruit. It is an investment every month, but it's a minor investment, and I do feel like our lives are stressful for my pets especially because they're still getting to know each other. They haven't even been together for a year yet, but they also have like screaming children, like you said. And my husband, who speaks really loud, and me, I get stressed out. And I know that especially dogs really feel like when a woman, there's like studies done that our anxiety impacts them. And I already have an anxious dog. So I like the pheromones all the time. I use Sentry or what's the other one called? I can't remember. The
Oh, I used
one.
to, yeah, like
Um,
there's a feel away and there's a,
Feel
yeah.
Away, and then Sentry I think makes one, and I use a comment. I have them on auto ship, so that's always there. But I also prefer to put them in like a safe room, like a Zen room, and I pre-plan this. Like I will get a snuffle mat and I will set up treats, and they might be too far beyond like threshold to even partake, but they know it's there. It's like kind of like a positive thing. You can purchase the pheromones on Chewy, on PetSmart, on usually a lot of the smaller retailers have them. Yes, if your anxiety is high, Bears Bites says that Bears anxiety is high. Absolutely. So there's actually, I interviewed somebody on my show um, that specializes in canine anxiety. And she said that there's a study that showed that when the woman, specifically the female caregiver, her anxiety went up, the dog's anxiety went up. So it's really interesting to see how those things play out. But putting them in a room with like covering the windows, doing all those things, is so helpful because now you know where they are. So now you know where to check on them if you're not with them. You know where to send your pet sitter if you happen to have an event that you have to go to. And this is for mild to moderate noise phobia. Like I cannot stress enough. Like if your dog or cat is terrified of storms, terrified of fireworks, that is your priority on July 4th and New Year's Eve. I hate to be the bearer of that news, but your belongs at home with your pet if that is where your pet's threshold is, like high reactivity. They can hurt themselves in the crate. Like crate trained dogs that go in there and like the doors open in and out, no problem. But if you plan on leaving your pet crated while you're out, they could hurt themselves trying to escape the crate. They can break out of the safe room. Like the things that we've seen dogs do, specifically dogs, because they have that ability, that chew. They can really hurt themselves, and they can hurt your home. So like if that's, we're not talking about those cases, you're home, but if you have a pet sitter and your cat is in, say, my office, then the cat sitter can come in to this specific room and check on the pet while I'm away. Safe rooms are always nice because it's like their Zen space, and if you always use it as their Zen space, like let's say that I always designate my office as a Zen place, then I will have the Feel Away plugged in here. I will have their favorite blanket, their favorite toys, the snuffle mat with treats, a bowl of fresh water, their litter box, whatever the dog needs. Obviously, if you have a dog and a cat, you got to figure out how to keep the dog out of the litter box. So just make a plan and execute that plan for all of these holidays, so they know, they get to a point where this is like old hat for them. And definitely use your technology. Like Alexa can be set to a routine. I have a routine set every single day downstairs with my Alexa where the pets stay. At 4 p.m. I get classical music, and a study has shown that classical music calms dogs. I don't know that they've studied cats. They don't usually study cats as much, but it definitely shows to calm. And another thing that calms dogs is reggae. So reggae, if that's, if you prefer that, put that on in the evening, and you can set it up for every night. And that way they have a routine that soothes them in the evening, when usually is when we have storms or when we have fireworks. And if you live somewhere where like Florida, where there are storms all day long, then, just kind of figure out a way to have Alexa help you. Even if you're at work, like you hear this thunderstorm, like let's go to Alexa, and at that device, let's play some calming music. So just use your technology, make a plan, keep that plan consistent, keep adding the layers that you need until you see that there's like a benefit there.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes, yes, yes. I love that you use technology to help you out. I hate my Googles. I hate them. I hate them. But we still
I
use them.
I have a Google Home, but we barely use it.
Yeah.
Like it's there. We got it for free when we ordered one of our cameras or something, you know. But the
Uh,
Alexa, I love the Alexa app. I actually use it. My grandmother's in assisted living, and she's having some stress issues. And her doctor recommended we get an Alexa and play music for her on a routine. So this is the, and you know what's really funny? I've had a routine for my pets for a year. I didn't think of putting it for my grandmother. It didn't occur to me until somebody told me. So this is why we're having these conversations.
I know, right? Well, yeah, we had our Google Home hacked one time and people were viewing our cameras. And yeah, so I hate them. But I hate them. I hate them. Um, right. But so we have our set to where if it starts listening, it has to chime first because like if you don't have that setting, if you don't know to go in and change that setting, it just listens whenever it wants to listen and you don't know when it's listening. So it's just like chimes all the time. Like I'm listening to you. I'm like, no, thank you. Please don't. Like I did not tell you it was okay to listen to me right now. Anyway,
All right, so
so
now you take over and talk about the supplements that you,
yeah, okay.
because now we talked about the environmental. Now I want to hear
Mhm.
all you use since you're the expert on the pillars.
So again, pretty low hanging fruit is a thunder shirt. I love using a thunder shirt with my dog. Um, like that hugging feeling that it gives them. I mean, just think about you being hugged. Like it's so calming and comforting, right? So that will be like the first thing I do is put on the thunder shirt, put on the music, the relaxo pet, whatever I have going on. And then so I will do so my dog gets heel every day. Just like
Yeah.
to support her endocannabinoid system. And so I will give her this even like every day, even if there is a storm coming. So she has a baseline of full spectrum hemp extract in her body every day anyway. And then on top of that, about an hour before, and generally any supplement you give, you want to give it about an hour before the hits the fan so that it has time to work, so the body can metabolize what it needs to metabolize and things start getting in the system. So when you are, regardless of, even if your pet doesn't have noise phobias and you're like, oh, I would love to use a full spectrum hemp extract for my animal, and let's just go ahead and start with the calm because why not? Because you're going to get it for free if you comment on this video and we're going to draw a name. We're going to draw a name today, and then next week we're also going to do a second giveaway for a second bottle. So if you don't get it today, make sure to join next week.
And we'll send next week's really quickly so that you can get it in time for New Year's.
Yes. So there is no testing to determine how deficient the endocannabinoid system is. So even though you can look at a website and there are guidelines based on weight, these are just guidelines. You want to start slow and titrate up. So you may just do, and I'll open this bottle so you can see. I'll get it here. And then I'll get it here. So there's a 0.25 mil, 0.5 mil, 0.75, and 1 mil. And you can start really low. And even with like little dogs like puppies, you may just do a drop or 2 drops to start out. Like it's a really, really low. And then you just titrate up every few days. And when your dog or cat gets to the point, and we'll talk about cats in a minute because they're special creatures, gets to the point where they're like groggy and tired, you know you've exceeded what dosage they need, and you just back it down to the dosage you did prior. And that's what your dog needs, or that's what your cat needs. When we're talking about cats, because cats have noise phobia too, it can be very, very difficult to get something like this in their mouth because they can smell it. Like I just pulled the bottle out of the drawer and my cats go running because they can smell it. So 2 things you can do with cats that I think are really easy for most cats. I will put drops of it on my hand and I will get their paw and rub it into their paw. So their paw is they're gonna absorb through their paw pads, and it's gonna enter their bloodstream that way. Or I will get, I wish I had grabbed this. I meant to grab it. Little roller balls. So you can get blue glass little tubes that have roller balls on them that you would normally buy for like essential oils. And you put your full spectrum hemp extract in there. And then you use the roller ball on the inside of their ear flap right here. And it will also absorb that way with cats. So those are 2 tips and tricks for your kitty cats out there. So for my dog, she gets her heel every day. And then when we have like some event, we will layer the calm on top of it. And I am not worried about overdosing on any of this. It is, as far as we can tell, like not really possible.
Yeah.
Overdose.
But I will say that when we speak about full spectrum extract, talking specifically about CBD dog health, there are very few products on the market that are actually what they say they are, because it is an unregulated industry. So if you are going to Amazon and buying something, which they don't allow it from what I know, so like if you're buying it on Amazon specifically, from what I remember Angela telling me, you're not actually getting hemp. They don't allow it.
Yeah.
If you go to any website just randomly, you may not be getting full spectrum hemp extract, which means that what we're saying does not apply. Like maybe you could overdose your pet on that because we don't know what's in it. So the only reason that we're talking specifically about CBD dog health is because we both know the owner. We've both interviewed the owner on our show. We both know that they do third-party testing. We've seen those tests. We've met the people who are involved in this whole process. So please do not just go out and buy full spectrum hemp extract from just anybody. Yes, third-party lab tested, exactly.
Yes.
And 3 labs. I don't know if it's 3 labs or third party, was just trying to say, but yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's really important to know what you're giving when we say like you can't overdose. This is pure stuff. And all studies that you ever read on hemp extract, they're done on full spectrum. So that's really where you should start anyway. But even then, knowing who made that full spectrum is so just know that.
Yeah, and the quality of the product, that it is, Sam is saying it's not allowed to be labeled CBD on Amazon, but it can be labeled hemp on Amazon.
Okay.
So, yes, because there's so many, and you can actually, for the bottle you get, you can scan the code on the bottle from CBD Dog Health and see the certificate of analysis for what you have in your hand. So you know not only it has everything in it, it says that it has in it, but it also doesn't have any of the other crap. It doesn't have, heavy metals. It doesn't have any pesticides. Like, these are things we do not want in it as well. Very, very important.
Yeah, so there's a lot of like people who will tell you I tried CBD and it's a racket, and it's a racket because you bought the wrong thing. And hemp literally sucks the bad stuff out of soil. So if you're not getting the right hemp from the right place, from the right farms, from the right manufacturer, the right producer, you're getting junk from the earth that you don't want, and you're paying a lot of good money for it. So just do your research, educate yourself. You can watch the episodes that we've done with Angela Ardolino on our shows. You'll learn all about it, but just be sure you're not taken for a ride with, at the corner store that has like the, marijuana plant out front.
Yeah. And that is true. Not only, so hemp is a bioaccumulator. Mushrooms are also bioaccumulators, which is also why you have to be really, really careful with any mushroom products. So that I will just go ahead and make that my next, the Clarity blend from from MycoDog, which is a subsidiary of CBD Dog Health. So again, we have the same testing, we have the same quality control, but this is lion's mane, reishi, and cordyceps in a tincture, in a vegetable glycerin. So it's easy to give to your dog or cat. You can get Myco Cat from the Two Crazy Cat Ladies website. is the exact same thing. So again, whether it has a dog or a cat on the label is the exact same product. So Clarity, the lion's mane, reishi, and cordyceps are also there. It was primarily made for cognitive disorders in dogs. So it is designed specifically with mushrooms that are good, that are known to benefit brain health. So when we're thinking cognitive, of course, we're thinking of all of these behavioral issues that we're having around noise phobias, right? Because what is happening? Like their brain is, they're not processing. So if we can support the brain, we can support cognitive function, this can be really beneficial as well. But regardless of the supplement, we do absolutely want to do our research and make sure that it's quality. It is a really, really quality product, because the next supplement that I'm going to talk about is essential oils. And again, there is such hubbub around pets and essential oils because there's so much poor quality product on the market, right? And poor quality, there are products that are labeled as essential oils that aren't actually essential oils, that really can do a lot of damage to our dogs, especially our cats. So I only use veterinary grade essential oils, and I will also, for my dog, use Animalio, the chamomile. It has, yes. So it has, what is this? Oh, German chamomile, Roman chamomile, blue cypress, frankincense, clary sage, and ylang ylang. And then I might also add some lavender into that. Lavender is very.
And that first blend must smell amazing, because
oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? And I love it. I also, and I didn't grab my Kitty Boost, but Kitty Boost has some of these same things in it. It has lavender, it has frankincense, it has myrrh, and it has, so like if you don't have chamomile but you have Kitty Boost on hand, by the way, I will use Kitty Boost on cats and dogs and me, and I love my Kitty Boost.
Using it, oh, it smells so good.
So I love it. But the other thing that I will layer in with this, the CBD Dog Health, the full spectrum hemp extract for my dog, because again, I'm layering things, trying to figure out what's working for her. And honestly, sometimes I can find something that I can layer and it will work for her one time, and the next time it might not. So I keep these things on hand to just, what's going to work, what's not going to work this time. So liquid Nutricom is something else that I will use. And it's not, to be quite honest with you, like if I were to just look at this on a shelf and not know how it works in my dog, I'd be like, I don't know. It's got like a few things in it I wouldn't love, but work like salmon, natural flavoring, fructose. I wouldn't love to give this to my dog on just an everyday basis, but like let's be real and let's talk about the fact that when our dogs do have noise phobias, it's an all hands on deck situation.
So what is that? Is that an herbal blend? I'm not familiar with that.
It is. So it has, if I can read it, has tryptophan, L-theanine, ashwagandha, which did I grab? I thought I grabbed I have a bottle of ashwagandha as well that I was going to show anyway. Catnip, valerian root, calcium, and magnesium are the active ingredients.
Is that designed for cats, dogs, humans?
This one is for small dogs and cats. I think they have one that may be a little bit stronger for large dogs, but it's basically the same thing. So those
are all things we use on a regular basis here for everybody. So theanine, my kids get every day. I have an anxious child. They both get it just because the little one wants it too. All of those are good, safe, long time use. Like people get scared about it. It's really not fear. One that. And Kim is gonna be with me on this.
That's what's happening.
Kim is the dog, guys, in case you did not, yes, because it is a human name. If you joined us, so I will say this: that when you're doing these There's obviously, Jessica, you've had years of doing this. I as well. You're almost 13 now. When you're layering, a lot of these things, because they're natural, want to just use with abandon. But remember, like the mushrooms, the hemp, they're extracts. And these are plant, medicinal plant extracts. So they're strong. So do a test run
Yes.
for at least, a week before. Start a week before and do like a little bit of a layer and then maybe a little bit more of a layer. And you'll see your pet's demeanor, and you'll see when, like Jessica said, your pet's too mellow, maybe you need to stop there. And if you're doing a test run, a little too mellow might be just fine, right? Because there's going to be a storm, or there's, you're preparing for a hurricane, heaven forbid, or there's, New Year's Eve coming up. And then you can always add later once the storm or the event starts. So like definitely layering carefully, knowing how potent these things are is really important to keep in mind, because just like you wouldn't give a pet like their full dose of trazodone like out of nowhere, having not ever used it before, your veterinarian's going to be like, okay, let's start with half a dose, see how they do. You have to just kind of test, because there are pets. I had Socks was bigger than Titan, and if I gave her the same size, the same dose of anything, especially anything like relaxing, like gabapentin or trazodone, she would walk into walls. While Titan, who was skinnier and smaller, same dose, no big deal, right? So some dogs are just more sensitive. So get to know your dog, layer things slowly.
Yes, and pay attention to this. So this is not the time, again, Isabel was saying this earlier, this is not the time to like give your dog a bunch of supplements and leave.
Oh no.
You need to be with your dog. Stay with your dog or your cat. And I say that because I gave, and I didn't grab this bottle because I grabbed a different bottle, but I tried a product by, I think it was another RX Vitamins product called GABA-Val. So again, it's just GABA and valerian root, and these are two wonderful things for calming. And I only gave my dog I think it was half the dose she was supposed to get, and she had this like rapid breathing that happened. So I talked to Rita Hogan about it, and she was like, yeah, that is rare, but it will happen because of the GABA. So it's like the GABA affecting the the neurotransmitters in the brain, and it's just in some rare cases. And for my dog, she was fine. Like it was about half an hour of like, she was literally sleeping next to me on the couch, and I'm just watching her, like her breathing was like like this, right? So like you want to know. So I would not, like I wasn't getting up to go pee or anything. I'm like watching her until this subsided, because if that were to get worse, then obviously I'm going to the emergency vet or whatever we need to do. So be aware that even with natural supplements, things can happen, because so yes, testing ahead of time is wonderful, because your dog isn't going to react the same way the neighbor's dog is going to react to the same supplement. But one other thing that I did grab that has been beneficial for some animals, just not my animal, is this Herbsmith Romania Subtle Anxiety. So we've got more herbs here. Love, love, love herbs. And this is so hard. This, oh my gosh, I don't even know if I can read this label. I mean, not that I can even, obviously. So it's Romania Subtle Anxiety. So Romania is like one of the main. So we've got Romania root, asparagus tuber, which is a real thing. I didn't make that up. Angelica, whole bunch. I can't read half of what these herbs are. Ginseng. Anyway, Poria. So herbs can be some of your best friends, as long as you, again, onboard them early, test them out, see how your dog reacts to them. Yeah, so I also grabbed, which I haven't tried, I just got these, I haven't tried these yet, but I have heard good things about the Mushroom Relax pet shoes from Real Mushrooms. So just another mushroom option. This one, again, lion's mane, reishi, which are two of the, this one also has cordyceps in it, the tincture. So it kind of depends on how, but there are some other herbs in this as well. So we've got taurine, L-theanine, L-tryptophan, valerian root, again, catnip. So one thing I would say when you are, if you're layering, do read what's in them, because I may not want to give my dog, and you may not want to give your dog, a crap ton of tryptophan or valerian root. And so I wouldn't, if I can get these labels straight, I wouldn't necessarily layer these two together, because they have a lot of the same overlapping ingredients, and I wouldn't want to do that. Yeah, so just be aware of what you're buying. Again, natural bacon flavor to get them to eat it. So I don't love flavorings, but they are what they are sometimes.
At my house, we use the Calm every day, just because that's the formula we use, and that's the one that we're going to be raffling off. So don't forget to comment either on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Instagram. If you win, we will reach out to you for your address. If you don't have a dog, we'll go to the next person, but just comment, say hello, insights you have. But I also use WinPro Pet. I talked about it a couple weeks ago. WinPro Pet is a blood plasma supplement. They have different formulations too. The main ingredient is the blood plasma, which is a byproduct of the pork industry. So they're actually upcycling something that is inevitable. They're using that plasma to make a treat that tastes delicious. But they're also putting in like L-theanine and valerian and other herbs that help. I use that in conjunction with the joint supplement on like an alternate basis. Just I have an old dog who's also a nervous dog. They also have an allergy formulation that's a totally different conversation that gets like 5-star reviews all the time because it's so effective. I love their joint stuff. If it wasn't for that, Titan wouldn't, I believe Titan would have lived as long. But it's a really yummy treat. It tastes like bacon blood. Gross. And it has like flavor. It's literal plasma, so obviously for dogs it's very attractive and appealing. But those are the two things we use. And one thing that I found, like for my dog, the Thunder shirt doesn't work. It worked for Titan. So again, like different dogs, different things. We had a Thunder shirt for both Titan and for Akira because my other dogs didn't care about storms, and Titan would almost ask for it. Like he would literally come and like lean on me until I put it on, and then he would rest. Kira, he's like, it doesn't seem to do anything. One thing about the Thunder shirt is if you find your dog is really into it, watch them. They'll like ask for it like Titan did, but also don't leave them alone because they can chew it off. Like they can literally choke, they can ingest, fabric. You don't want that. So again, back to never leave your pets alone wearing something. I do want to add that this week I'm interviewing Kristen Brand, who created, get ready for it if you're not familiar, she created, it's called Ponix, and it is like a helmet, noise canceling for dogs. And I went on their website today. It is an investment, but if you have one of these dogs that's super noise phobic and it's really problematic, look into it. It's called Ponix. Her name is Kristen Brand. And she has some refurbished ones that are a little more affordable. It's literally like the cutest little helmet with like designed with like to look like little ears. I've obviously never used it because my dog is so sensitive that it's like way more than the noise for her. It's like that barometric pressure change like we talked about. But if your dog is just noise phobic where it's like fireworks, this is such a cool product. She went on Shark Tank and the sharks didn't get it, right? Because they didn't get it. They were like, dog noise canceling, I don't get it. They don't recognize just how common a problem this is. So just watch the episode. She's super cool. Her idea was super cool. We talk about her experience on Shark Tank. That's coming out Thursday. But that's another layer for those that are like at their wits' end, that don't know what to do. It's called Ponix, and it really was designed with dogs specifically in mind. It is not for cats. It is designed for their heads. They come in different sizes. There's a whole process, and it's I think the brand new one is $200 and a refurbished one's like $140 or something around those lines. So it is an investment, but I mean, if that's what's going to bring your pet peace during these like 2-3 nights a year, it might be worth the investment. But also, before we wrap up, I want to say that these are obviously investments and there's money involved. So do what you can. If you can't get all these layers, by all means, like, you do what you can. And if you really just need like something that your veterinarian gives you, talk to your vet, but don't wait until next week. Talk to
Yes.
now. You're already late. So if you want
Yeah.
gabapentin, if you want trazodone, if you want something that's really going to just like be a pill and solve the problem for that day, you needed to talk to your vet about this last month. You're late. Call them now.
Call them now. Yeah, I'm not, again, like, if it's an if it's a situation where, especially where your dog is like destroying property or harming themselves, don't hesitate to do what you need to do to make sure that your dog
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we would love to find the holistic solution that's going to work for your dog, but that takes time.
Yes.
So if we have to use a pharmaceutical in the meantime, then that's what we need to do.
Do all these layers, and then like when we see her literally shivering, we have trazodone, and I give her a quarter of her dose, and it takes the edge off. And then I'll wait, and then I'll see if she needs more, and I'll give her another quarter of her dose. So we tried gabapentin, it did nothing, right? Like, my veterinarian was like, for July 4th a few years ago, she's like, you already have gabapentin in the house for Titan, give her some of that, see how it goes. Did nothing. Gabapentin for nerve pain, but it also has like a kind of a sedating effect.
Yeah.
It didn't do anything for her. So I had to call back and be like, she's literally sitting here shivering, during these storms or whatever. So she gave me trazodone, and it's something I have to go pick up at the regular pharmacy. It's a human product. Gabapentin is used for humans too. My husband and my dog were both using it when Titan was still around, and I used to joke that they were both old men. But yeah, like it's a very effective drug. You don't have to give the whole dose. You can try it. You can see where your dog lies. Don't be scared of pharmaceuticals for these situations if it is something that your pet needs. Your pet's happiness and contentment and safety will always be the most important thing in any of these conversations that Jessica and I have with you, because that's the reason we're here. So if you can, if you have the resources, the means, and the time to plan ahead and take all these suggestions, by all means. But if you don't, pharmaceuticals are a blessing when they are used properly and under the right circumstances. So thank you so much. Why does everybody say
Yes,
great?
I know. And while I go in here to pick a name for today, one more thing, that it is an investment, and I don't have one to show you because I haven't purchased it yet, but I've heard really, really good things, and I do want to buy one and try it out, is a PIMF pulsed electromagnetic frequency. Is also supposed to be really, really, really calming. But even though it is an investment, and I think, is it is it PIMF Pets, I think, PEMF Pets, I believe, is the one that is supposed to be really, really good, that I'm looking at purchasing. It can also be beneficial for other things. So don't think that like this is a one-time use product. It's something that can help your pet, especially as they age, or if they have any chronic illnesses or pain in their body, arthritis. Like, it's something that you literally can use. And from what I have seen, animals will, cats and dogs, seek it out. So like, you turn it on and they run to it. Like, they really, really. So years ago,
another thing to add that you just reminded me of, if you can't afford something as high tech as that, a warming blanket, a warming bed, something like that in your safe and zen zone will also add a layer of relaxation and zen to your pet. So that's another thing. And they make, especially cats, love their heated blanket, heated bed things that they sell, and they're not super expensive. So something
Absolutely. And I mean, honestly, we couldn't scratch the surface of everything that's out there. These are just some of our favorite things. to use and try. So, all right, I'm gonna just pick.
I'm impressed you were writing everything down while we were at it.
All right, Lisette.
We were gonna do this.
Lisette.
Lisette Guerrero. Did you
Yes.
calm?
Yes. I think, weren't you the one that said that both of your Jack Russells needed it?
Yeah, because she leaves the classical music on for her pups whenever she goes out.
Yes.
4 of them.
Oh my goodness. So DM me.
Yeah.
Yay. DM me your info and, or which one? Do you want me to do it this week or do you want to do it this week, Isabel?
You send it to Jessica, and she and I will figure out whomever sends it first, whomever gets it first, because we want to make sure that whomever wins next week gets it in time. So
Yes.
we will send out this week's this week and next week's next week, right before the holiday. But you know, holiday shipping times are crazy. So
Yes.
listen, congratulations! Thank you all for joining the conversation. She has 2 crazy Jack Russells. And she has 4 dogs total. Wow, that's amazing. We're so happy that we can help you. What is most effective when you put it on their gums, directly on their gums? Something you can do is lift their gum with a treat. Lift their lip with a treat and then just drip it in there. You know, that's a really good way of making it so that it's positive association. And if you're looking for a really good treat that's always going to positive association everything, Bears Bites, they make the best treats. My dogs love her treats. That's our friend Sam. She makes the best chicken hearts you'll ever never try. But they are there. That's how I give Kira. I lift her lip with the chicken heart because the chicken heart's pretty big.
Yeah.
She put it in because she's like licking the chicken heart, and then she gets the chicken heart. So yeah. Thank you guys all for joining us. I need to run and go get my karate.
Oh, okay. Have fun. I'm going to dinner with Pam and Janet, so I will.
Oh,
we'll have adventures. We will have adventures.
I feel left out. All right, well, have fun.
Thank you, Sam. I hope you're okay. I hope Bear is doing all right. And Lisette, I will, just DM me your info. Thank you guys so much for joining us again. We will be doing another giveaway for a bottle of Calm
next week
from CBD Dog Health next week. We will post about that in a couple of days. And yes, absolutely. See you guys back here wherever you're watching, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, next week.
Yay! Bye, guys. Bye.